Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Total Extreme Wrestling. My name is BrendenPlayz as we continue on our Total Non-Stop Action playthrough. We actually have gone ahead and played another show after our pay-per-view. We've been doing pretty well. We're on track to, yes, we're going to make a loss this month, but it's not going to be as severe as we would, probably think. So we're on track. Now, let's show you what happened last show. And we had the Impact here, and we had a 75 overall show, 2.02 rating, nearly 4,000 in attendance. Some of the matches we had, some of the pre-show matches, Tanahashi getting a win over Divine, R-Truth beat Michael Shane. Now, we did those because we need to start using some of our mid-card guys. We don't have a second show, we don't have a minor show, so the pre-show is kind of where we need to use some more of our guys. We had Abyss and Rhino basically setting up for a match. Now, Abyss is the #1 contender now for the TNA World Championship, so I wanted to kind of give a bit of a blow-off match here between Abyss and Rhino to end that rivalry. The Steiners made their debut in ring. It was a bit of a disaster, 53. Now, they versed the Naturals, but Scott and Rick's performances were pretty bad, so yeah, I'm starting to maybe nearly regret that decision, but we're going to go with it. We had Christy against Sarah Del Rey. She got the victory there. Homicide, we gave him a big win over Road Dogg. Now, it's quite a bit of a gap in their popularity, but I decided to give Homicide a victory because we want to try and push LAX to get, obviously Hernandez is so far below, but we'd like to get Homicide at least on the level of some of these other top tag teams so we can use LAX. We had Sabu, Raven, and Team 3D against the America's Most Wanted and TNA. 74 rated match. Now, this was actually really surprising because Raven, out of everyone, had the best performance, and he was not affected by drugs. So maybe the 15 fines that we've given him for using drugs has finally worked because he wasn't affected by drugs. So he actually had a really good performance and a pretty good match. That's really good news. And Sabu was okay as well. So very, very happy about that. Then we had Sabu and Raven basically request a match against TNA, Tess and Albert. We had Jeff Hardy get a win over Roderick Strong because Jeff Hardy was complaining that he's not getting enough victories, so we just had to kind of sneak him in a match there and get him a victory. And then we had Abyss versus Rhino, the bit of the blow-off match at the end there, and that was a 78 overall. To give us a 75 overall show, pretty good. And we didn't have Christian or Jeff or Sting, our top guys on the show, because obviously we've ended their storylines, and because of that we've started a couple of new ones. So we've got Christian and Abyss. Basically the storyline is going to be Christian now has to try and defeat Abyss after winning the World Championship. Can he beat the monster, essentially? So we started that one, and I'm still going to go with Jeff Jarrett and Sting, but I'm just going to have those two. Christian is going to be involved as a minor. But you can see from the storyline here, basically Jeff Jarrett is pissed off that he lost against Christian, and he's looking to take it out on Sting because Sting and Christian were basically, they've been friends in this situation. Christian and Sting have, been allies, tag partners for a couple times. Obviously, we had Sting come out to celebrate when Christian won the championship and beat Jeff Jarrett. And Sting, I think, has come out for the save and helped save Christian from a couple of incidents with Jarrett. So Jeff Jarrett basically going to blame Sting for losing and going to try and take out his frustrations out on Sting. We still have our other rivalries right now. They're all going quite well. Even this one, the Hassan and Jeff Hardy one's going quite well. The only one that's probably badly is the women's one, but that's pretty good for the women, I would say. This one's starting to pick up a little bit more after a bit of a bad start, so we're starting to pick it up a little bit there. And we've got the Steiners involved in this one. LAX and the New Age Outlaws. We can still get a couple more matches out of these rivalries before we kind of move on. Maybe we'll stretch them out to the next pay-per-view. And same with our X Division. And we didn't actually use the X Division much, if at all, on the Impact that we just had. But we'll hit back and we'll use them in the next one. All right, so we've gone ahead and really beefed up our Developmental. So we've got a few more names in here. So this is what we've got going on right now in our Developmental. We've signed a few names, for example, Jindrak, Kingston, Carter is in there, Moxley. So we're starting to get some names coming along and some good names coming along in our Developmental. And as well as that, we've even made some tag teams. Now I've done it. The Shield. I did it. Yep. I put Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose or Tyler Black and John Moxley, for example. I mean, their actual names. I put them as a tag team, why not? Now here's the thing, here's the question that I want to ask a lot of you guys. Would you like to see Roman Reigns and actually form the Shield? Because I can get Roman Reigns, he's in the game. Now, do you want to see that? I don't know. I think that'd be a little, you know, a little bit silly, but, you know, it's all fun at the end of the day. And of course, we've got the Young Bucks as well, which is good. So, we're starting to get somewhere with our developmental. We're starting to really, I guess, lay the platform for what is to be our developmental. Now, I set it to be a developmental territory, which basically means the company, Impact Florida, which is the name of the company, it won't sign any new people, but they've gone ahead and signed, they've signed some referees, which is great, but they've also signed some managers and some other wrestlers. Like, for example, let's have a quick look at, it should be on here. So I didn't see it the first time. So Ryan O'Reilly, for example, aka Connor, I think it is, from the Ascension, they signed him, for example, even though I didn't want them to, but that's fine, I guess. Whatever, we can carry him through and give him somewhere to work. No one else wants him, so yeah. So there you go. So they've been signing a few guys without my permission. Now here's the other big thing that's also happened. Mark Henry, his contract has expired, and he has an offer from the WWE to go and remain there. He's 34. He's up there in age. He's been around for 9 years. He's pretty injury prone. I don't know. Yeah, you can see injuries, the legs there are not great in the yellow, so he could sustain a few injuries sometimes. 79 popularity though. I think that might be a bit inflated. I mean, 2006, that was the time where he did, he was getting a bit of a push. He got that, he injured Batista, quote unquote, and did all that. So he was getting a bit of a push back then. So maybe 79 is not too out of the question, but I probably would have put more of a 65, 70. But yeah, so yeah, we could get him. He will negotiate. We could get him. WWE have offered him a bit of a low ball, nearly under 20, under 20 grand for 3 years. So he's valued at around 21 grand. So they've lowballed him. The thing is though, Mark Henry is a very loyal WWE guy. Doesn't have loyal under here, but he is a very loyal guy. And his stats are okay. His mic, I think his mic ability should be better than that, and everything like that. But he's not even, his menace is only B+ as well. So he's okay, but I think we've already got Abyss. We've already got Samoa Joe. We've got Tess, we've got Albert, we've got some big guys there, and they're probably better than Mark Henry, so I'm gonna probably pass up on Mark Henry. Now let's have a look at some of his matches. I mean, he did have a 92 overall match with Shawn Michaels, but that's Shawn Michaels, come on. So yeah, that's that. But look, I think I'm going to pass up on him. I'm going to pass. I could live to regret it, but I think there's going to be some better names coming along, and I don't want to sign everyone from WWE. That's not my plan. I want to create my own stars and use the guys that we have and build them into stars. I don't want to buy main eventers. I don't want to buy stars. Only veterans, for example, that have been stars, and we'll use them to make our own. That's that. Mercedes Martinez is actually signed with OVW. I thought when I looked to sign her that she was just going to, sign a pay-per appearance. So I didn't realize she was going to go for a written deal. But, that's fine. We weren't that interested in her anyways. And yeah, that's pretty much all of that. So we've got 5 more days until our next Impact show. And we'll also be getting near the end of the month as well, which is always exciting when you get to the new month. You can, start to do a lot more there. Just take a bit of a look here. So see, Scott Steiner's actually now one of our top 5 franchise players. I think Muhammad Hassan was number 5. He's dropped out. So because of Muhammad Hassan losing a couple of matches as of late, that's not really helped him out. Still got very good popularity though. But yeah, he's dropped down a little bit. But overall, our roster's really starting to come together. We're getting a lot more guys under written deals as well. And you can see a lot more here than we had previously, which is fantastic. So, we've got Matt Morgan now. We're going to send him down to developmental. Dolph Ziggler, when he comes along, we'll send him down. We still haven't officially got him yet either, so that can't be too far away either. So, starting to really set everything up, starting to really, get our roster where we want it to be, and we can start to build and get our talent. Some of these mid-card guys, for example, Bobby Roode, for example, we want to get him going. Austin Aries. Obviously now we have the new TV, the Global Championship. That's a part of the Alliance that hasn't been given yet. So I want to create a storyline for that. But we have to kind of and ah who we want to put in that position, because we have a few guys there that, would be good candidates, but are involved in tag teams. Do we want to keep them as a tag team, or, what's the plan here? So here's a bit of a look. So Austin Aries would be a good option. Certainly could carry his own as a champion. Decent mic ability, C+, B-. That's good enough, and obviously good in-ring work as well. So we could definitely use him in that role, and he would be a good initial champion. Bobby Roode as well. He's got very strong entertainment, so he should be pretty good on the mic. Good popularity, so he might be a very good option as well. Alex Shelley or Chris Sabin. More so, I want to use them as a tag team, and actually going to be turning Chris Sabin heel, because Alex Shelley's a heel, Chris Sabin's a babyface, so we need them to match up together. So we're going to turn Chris Sabin heel, because I think we've got enough babyface tag teams as well. So we'll work on that. Eric Young, another option as well, but I probably would go Bobby Roode over Eric Young, to be honest with you. R-Truth has the best popularity out of the lot of our mid-card guys. Would make a pretty good champion. Good mic ability, good enough in the ring. Yeah, pretty good in the ring, to be fair. I think he'd be a very solid champion and has the most popularity to start off with. But my concern there is he's almost nearly too popular, because these are the guys he's going to be working with. So for him to lose, he's going to lose a lot of popularity if he lost to any of these guys. Kenta, we do have Kenta. We haven't used him yet, but his popularity a bit too low to probably give him the belt just yet. So that's where we're at with that. I mean, I think Bobby Roode or Austin Aries might be our picks. Our lower mid-card guys, no one really there. I mean, Jay Lethal, but hasn't quite got the popularity yet, and that's a work in progress. We could go upper mid-card and take a look at these guys, but a lot of our big names here are kind of focused on the X division right now, but definitely could be a global champion. As you can see, we also have Frankie Kazarian, so that's also another big pickup. We're going to add him more so as a tag team with Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. We probably want to use those together. We do have Kazarian to a written deal, so that's handy. We do need to use him at some capacity, so that's very good to have another good tag team there, and another babyface tag team. And obviously Kazarian, decent as well, pretty good in the ring. Not the best mic ability, but he definitely could hold his own and definitely could be a solid global champ. Low key, Matt Morgan we're going to send back to Developmental when we get him officially. And yeah, I mean, we could give it to Tess, but he's almost at that point where he's moving up in the main event. So I want to probably keep it to our mid-card guys. So it's hard because a lot of our mid-carders are all heels. You can see we're very heel-heavy mid-card. So, for example, Kenta, we might actually need to turn him to be a babyface, I think, when we bring him in. Turn him to be a babyface, because we've got too many heels. Just everywhere. And the guys that are babyfaces, I don't have much interest in. For example, Lance Hoyt, don't have a lot going for him. Even Shannon Moore's a heel, and everyone's a heel, and it's nearly too much. It's an issue. It is a big issue. So we're gonna have to probably work on that. A lot of these guys, are all probably better off as heels. You can see Austin Aries, far better heel than he is babyface. So it's an issue we have. So maybe R-Truth may be the one to be the champion, and then we can have all these heels chasing him for the championship. So that way, he has a lot of opponents that he can work with, and whilst we're working on bringing some new guys in or turning a few people babyface, we have R-Truth who works with all these heels. All these heels are chasing the championship. He can beat most of them, and eventually we'll build up a heel to the point where he's ready for the championship. Maybe Bobby Roode, and then by the time we've built him up, we should have another babyface to come along and start feuding. So that might be the plan. So we might go R-Truth, and we might have him have a feud. We'll see how he goes against Austin Aries. We'll see how that matchup goes. So we'll start that one off. So the Global Championship, and we'll see how it goes. We may change the participants, but we'll go with that for now, and we'll see how that goes. So he's already actually in another rivalry, so we need to dip R-Truth out, put him in a new one. So we'll just change that back to global, and we'll change that later. But yeah, so R-Truth and Austin Aries to start things off, and obviously R-Truth will win the championship, but we can, start to build from there. So we'll skip ahead to our next few days, and we'll get ready to book our next show. Okay, so here we go. 2 days away from our next show. Big news. Gold Dust. His contract is up for grabs. He's 36. We know he does spend a lot of time in TNA throughout his career. 62 popularity, so not bad at all. Good in-ring work, yes, and still has terrific mic skills. Could be a really solid upper mid cards to maybe even lower end main event guy. So WWE has offered him a 2-year deal at $13,700. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think he might be a really handy guy to bring in. We need a few more upper mid card to mid card names. Especially, obviously I'm looking at like R-Truth, for example. He and Dustin Rhodes could do something there. Obviously, been a tag team in real life, but for example, they could have a rivalry there. So he might be a guy that we can bring in to solve one of our mid card issues. I think bringing him in as a mid card babyface could be really good. So we're going to offer him a deal. We're going to give him a little bit more money, and we'll give him 3 years. 3 years, and he's happy with that. So we'll make that official. We'll see if we can get him. Okay, so a couple of news tidbits here. Nakamura, he feels like he's already learnt enough in developmental that he's ready to move up. So we have to deal with that. So he feels as though he's not going to get any more benefits from staying in developmental. Dolph Ziggler's now joined us, so we're going to send him down to developmental. Mark Henry, he signed with the WWE, so he's staying with them. And WWE have also altered their contract to Gold Dust. So they've given him $16,000 for 3 years, and also 20% bonus. So there you go. We'll have to see. We'll give him a good. We don't want to sign him for too lengthy of a deal, so we'll match basically what WWE have given him. We'll give him a 20% bonus for working a pay-per-view. We'll give him a little bit more money. Oh, okay. So Dixie's not happy. Dixie won't let us spend that much more. So this is the issue we have with having an owner and only being the booker. You're under certain limitations, and we couldn't exactly throw the checkbook at Dustin Rhodes. So we'll try and give him that offer. I don't want to go any more than that because he's 36. I don't want to give him a 4 or 5 year deal because why would I? He won't be as good as he is now in 4 or 5 years time. Although he does end up being very good in his 40s, but it's a risk. We don't know where his progression will take him. So it's a risk that I don't necessarily really want to take. Dolph Ziggler, we're going to send him down to developmental. You don't think his skills can improve anymore? Well, at least the workaround to that is just to send him down there to work there, because we don't have a spot for him right now. It's pretty clear we don't, so that's fine. And now with Nakamura as well, we have to do the same thing with him. So we don't have a spot for him in the main roster, so we'll send him down there just to work, just to wrestle, because the more matches they're having, the better they're going to get. So you make them work. That's the benefit of having a pay-per-appearance deal and having them work 4 or 5 different places, because they're having matches all the time and getting better constantly. But we can't necessarily do that with our developmentals. So we give R-Truth a match against Petey Williams in the opening and the pre-show as well, and we'll see how this goes. So 64 for that one. So they didn't have good chemistry, so that actually was not a good match. They just didn't work well together. Great opener for this one as well, so that's great to see. So we'll continue from that. Muhammad Hassan, Jay Lethal. See, Muhammad Hassan struggled because there wasn't anyone to have good psychology, so he struggled. Jay Lethal was pretty good, 68. That was pretty good, but Hassan, he really needs an opponent by the looks of it that can really carry him. If he can get carried in the match, or he's in a tag match or something like that, I think that's where we get the best out of him. But one-on-one, we haven't really had many good matches with Hassan. But then again, he backs it up with a promo, really good promo. Aries and Sanjay Dutt actually had a terrific match, and Sanjay Dutt was the better out of the two. Aries is another guy, we need to fix his gimmick. Actually, we already have fixed his gimmick by the looks of it, so we'll change that. It was too soon after the last one, so we knew that was going to happen, but it was rated, and it's rated as awful, so that's not good, but he will improve on that, and obviously that's not ideal, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Good promo there. Okay, well that's pretty good. Scott Steiner and Bubba Ray had a 72 match. Steiner was 65, Brother Ray 64. So Steiner actually did pretty good. That's a good match. That's fine, because the tag match that Steiner said last week was abysmal, terrible. So that's a relief that Scott Steiner can do it. Maybe Rick Steiner's the problem, not Scott, and that's probably more. That's probably the actual case. Gail Kim and Natalia. That's a decent match there. The follow-up was pretty good. That's fine. 63 for that. The Jeff Jarrett probably not as good as we probably would have hoped for, but that's fine. That's still good. Rhino and James Storm had a pretty good match. That's good to see. So James Storm, his performances haven't been amazing, but that was a much better one from him. Rhino needs a change in his gimmick as well, so we need to work on that. Find something from him. Samoa Joe, terrific promo, and here's our main event match. Fingers crossed, it's a good one. 82. So there you go. Samoa Joe and Low Ki have excellent chemistry together. So maybe keep that in the back of our minds when we think about making more tag teams. Really good chemistry together. Samoa Joe, 95 performance. That is amazing. Really, really good. So what was the issue? Why didn't we have a better match? So poor commentary and not enough time. So we didn't give it enough time. I thought we gave it plenty of time, but so they needed a few more minutes. But that's good. So we could probably do that one again sometime, and know that'll be a really solid match. Maybe even Joe and Low Ki against Daniels and Kazarian. Overall, 85 rated show. That's terrific. That's really good. That's a very good show for us. Our impacts are getting better. We're starting to really find what we need to do, find who's the right combinations. That's what it's all about. It's about trial and error, finding the right opponents for everyone. We now have Frankie Kazarian, so he's joined TNA. Mark Jindrak has joined our Developmental. We missed out on Michael Hayes. Oh no, I didn't really care about that. And a 2.03 rating, so that's still solid, still remaining consistent, and our ratings are still right up there. Really, really good. So I'm very happy with that. And at the moment, everything's going quite well still. And so we've got our new rivalries established, a couple of our new ones anyways that we've got. We've got them established somewhat. They've started them, but really having some good matches. And you see Samoa Joe, he's starting to, like I said, really getting close to being a main event guy. And once we get Samoa Joe in the main event against Christian and Rhino and all those, Sting, wow, he's going to have some really good matches. He is terrific. Samoa Joe is right now our absolute MVP, without a doubt. He is the man. He is killing it. AJ's going quite well, but I think Daniels is probably doing better than AJ, to be fair. But that's where we're at right now. Christian's still our top guy, still doing really well. Hassan starting to pick it up as well. I'm okay with his performances. Jeff Jarrett starting to get his popularity back to where it was. That's good news. So, unfortunately, Jeff Jarrett's probably going to lose to Sting, let's be honest. Because I don't think we're really going to sacrifice Sting, if much, if ever. Only in maybe multi-man matches. We're not going to have Sting lose very often, because he's an icon. He's our absolute legend. Sting shouldn't be losing much unless it's a special occasion, unless it's a big deal like a world title match, or unless it's to the next man, like Muhammad Hassan, for example. If we wanted to push him over the top, that's when you would have Sting lose, but not very often. So that's how I view that anyways. But I don't think we advanced our Test and Albert storyline, but other than that, we covered most of it this week anyways. And we're not going to get every single storyline covered every week, because we only got 2 hours. But that's that. So far everything, like I said, going really, really well. And we'll advance to the end of the month, and we'll kind of take a bit of a look to see what changes happen and what maybe some more contracts expire. Okay, so let's take a look at the end of the month. So Road Dogg actually got a contract offer. It's only an appearance deal, so that's fine. But our TV deal, I think it is, for RDS. That has only 1 month remaining. Lesnar's now finished his tour with Japan, so he's done with Japan, even though he's the world champion there. So they might need to get him back. They probably will, I'd say. New Japan have offered a contract to Lesnar, actually, so that might be a written deal. And they've also offered a contract to Chris Jericho. Oh no, that's not good. Noah has also offered one as well. We can't see what the contracts are because he won't talk to us. So, wow. And NWE have offered a contract as well. How big's NWE? They're only small. Why do they get to offer him a contract? That's bullshit. So, Jericho could be on his... He's gone. Jericho's gone. He's going to go somewhere, probably for 3-4 years. So, well, my dream of getting Chris Jericho has been crushed, essentially. Really crushed. A lot of our TV deals expiring, so we have to kind of sort that out. Noah also has a contract offer to Lesnar. I'm hoping it's only tour deals or something like that. So Goldust is now, he's renewed his contract with WWE, so we missed out on him as we kind of expected. Apparently Shawn Michaels and Coach hate each other. That's interesting. Maria Kanellis' contract has expired. And I tell you what, she's someone that might be really handy for our women's division. She's not the best in the ring, but good camera skills, good popularity. I'm going to make an offer. Jim Cornette not happy about it, but sorry, Jim. WWE, though, have really upped the ante. They've given her a good deal. We might really try and make a good play for her. We'll give her a lot of money. Dixie's not happy again. Dixie, stop being a pain and just give us what we want. So she's happy with that. So we're giving her a 4-year deal. She's only 24. She's got a long way to go. And I think she can be really handy. So we'll give her that. Matt Morgan now, he's joined up so we can use that. And Nakamura has won the Impact Global title. So there you go. Before we could even really dictate who wins that, our Alliance member, our Developmental, has picked it for us. Nakamura won the title, and hey, that's a good pick. If you're going to have someone win the belt, sure, why not Nakamura? So he's the first ever champion. So you can see there. So Nakamura, who did he beat? He beat Too Tough Tony. Too Tough Tony got beat by Nakamura. So he's the first ever Impact Global Champion, and that's what it can happen, you know. Unfortunately, it's kind of out of our hands sometimes, and that's what can happen. So basically, Nakamura is now the champ, but that's fine. I mean, you know what? We may even let them keep that championship because for a while, until we get our hands on it, because we want them to have a title to go after as well. But also, this means that they must have had some kind of a show, so we can take a look at how that show went. CM Punk. A lot of you guys have been asking about CM Punk. He's actually under a contract with WWE, and they've just called him up from Developmental, so he's joining WWE in the main roster. I mean, if his contract expires, absolutely we're going to throw the checkbook at him, but more than likely we won't be able to get him. But we'll take a quick look to see how the Impact show went, our first ever Developmental show. So they've had 2 now. So the first one, Monty Brown was the main event against Kalisto, 48, so that's fine. DDP was on the card too, and ODB, she beat Awesome Kong for... It looks like they've created their own women's championship. Is that true? Is that for real? Have they created their own titles as well? I don't remember doing that. Yeah, they have. So that's interesting. So they've got their international championship, which I'm guessing is their world title. Monty Brown has that. They have the tag titles, which nobody has yet. They've got the TV title, which Black Pearl has, whoever that is. And ODB won the women's title. So that's very interesting that they've gone ahead and created this championship. And look, that's not an issue. I think they should have their own championships, and I guess we can share a couple. Having the women's championship, I don't like that though. I would have liked to have just the one women's championship among the Alliance. So we may actually go ahead and delete that championship. But, you know, that's fine. There you go. So they've gone ahead and created their own. Let's take a look at the other show, how that went. So that was 44. So this was their pay-per-view, I suppose, their big event. 752 they drew, so that's fine. They actually drew 820 for their next one. And Monty Brown beat Kofi Kingston. DDP against Tyler Black or Seth Rollins, that's cool. And Nakamura beat Too Tough Tony for the Impact Global. So That's pretty cool. So our developmental is now up and running. It's basically all started up now, and that's cool. So let's have a look. Our finance for the month. So we lost 657, but of course we did create the developmental. So if we didn't create that, we probably would have been in the clear, I'd say. So that's not bad at all. We actually had a pretty solid month. Obviously we had a really good pay-per-view as well. So pretty successful overall for the month. We'll just have a quick look also as well, see if there's any new workers we could sign, since it is a new month now. See if there's any new workers that we can get in. So let's have a quick look. None of these names look that familiar. And again, you know, after we end it all, we might go look further. But you can see most of them are just, some of them are actual people that have been, you know, signed, new workers, but some of them are just randomly generated people or whatever. So nobody really there. But that's the end of the month. We've had a really successful month, I would say, overall, and we are really improving. We've set up a lot of things now. Our developmental's up and running. Everything's going pretty well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on it and subscribe to see more episodes coming your way very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.